It's official. Spider-Man is back in the MCU. Now, when people first heard the news, they were jumping up and down in the streets, very excited. I personally wanted to see what Sony would do in charge, but we're all on board. It's back with Marvel, set to release in 2021, which means Marvel's most popular character is going to be going against the Batman, DC's most popular character, the Vengeance, the Knight, the Batman. Now, these two actually went head-to-head in the box office before, back in 2012, when Amazing Spider-Man came out against The Dark Knight Rises. What's very ironic is that at that point, The Dark Knight Rises was capping off its trilogy under Christopher Nolan, and The Amazing Spider-Man was a reboot. Whereas this time, Spider-Man is going to be capping off its trilogy with Tom Holland, and Batman is being rebooted. Now, as far as Spider-Man goes, he's arguably Marvel's most popular character. Dominated the comic book sales in the 90s under Todd McFarlane. Had a great animated series. Had his whole trilogy of films before Iron Man even came out. So he won over the casual fans, the public. Everybody loves Spider-Man. He's literally amazing. What are they going to do with this third film? Who knows? I personally want to see some tragedy in it to see how he could overcome that. Whereas the Batman is going to be directed by Matt Reeves, who previously directed Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and War of the Planet of the Apes. Now, we all know that the Batman has been very successful throughout movies, going back to the 80s, as far back as the 60s, if you want to go that far back. The last time that these two went head-to-head, in 2012, Batman: The Dark Knight Rises made over $1 billion, and Spider-Man made about $750 million, just over. But as I said, one was capping off their trilogy and the other one was being rebooted. Far From Home, as we know, has made over $1 billion. So it's safe to say there's a high chance this next Spider-Man movie could make more money than this next Batman movie. Simply because a lot of people are in love with Tom Holland's version of Spider-Man. There's 3 other Marvel movies coming out that year, which kind of promote the next Marvel movie automatically. And pretty much after all this drama, it's going to make people that much more excited to see the next Spider-Man movie. When it comes to Batman, there's a lot of things I want to see. I want to see that nice, structured action that we saw in Batman vs. Superman and even Justice League, where you can really see Batman kicking ass, taking names from different angles, similar to how he does in the Arkham Knight games. We already have some rumors about who the villains are going to be, so I don't want to get too much into that. I just want to talk about what we don't know and what we haven't seen. For example, I want the suit to look classic, especially since it's rumored to take place in the 90s. And the Batmobile. We're going to talk about the Batmobile in a second. But why not bring back that classic black suit with the yellow logo just to get fans going? And then you could debut a new costume by the end of the movie. I think that would be dope just because it'll get a lot of the casual fans very interested in this version of Batman, which is set to be played by Robert Pattinson. It'll give it kind of that nostalgic look, but with modern quality, modern technology. And then by the end of the movie, he could get a brand new sexy suit for himself. Now, in terms of the Batmobile, we have seen many different versions of the Batmobile. In Arkham Knight, we saw a design similar to that of the Batman Dark Knight trilogy, where it kind of looks like a tank. It's very armored, very heavy. Now, to talk about that design that we saw in the Dark Knight trilogy, which is called the Tumbler, it was sold off as some military tank type of concept vehicle. I don't even know how to describe it really, because at the time it was just the craziest thing I have ever seen. I never saw a Batmobile like that. It was heavy, it was powerful, it was black. Does it come in black? It was all dark and epic. And in 2016, with the debut of Batman vs. Superman, we saw a similar tank-like design, It was just more sleek and more to the ground, similar to the Batmobiles that we all know and love. But in this new movie, why not bring back that classic Batmobile from 1989 and Batman Returns? I'm talking about that sleek one. Look how beautiful it looks. Like, if they brought this back with the classic costume, I think we'll get a lot of people talking just off the nostalgia, especially if it takes place in the 90s. It'll kind of be a nod to that version of Batman, which was extremely popular at the time and damn near untouchable until 1997. So that's a whole nother conversation. But what do we need in a Batman movie? We need some good action, some good villains, some good psychology, some deep lines, some good scenes with Alfred, and some epic Batmobile scenes. We get all those things, and I don't see why not that Batman movie could be very successful. I expect it to make over $1 billion just because it's Batman and I'm a DC mark. But Spider-Man. To talk about Spider-Man, we have gotten a great set of Spider-Man sequences and appearances in the MCU. He first appeared in Civil War and then had his own movie before appearing in Infinity War, Endgame, and then Far From Home. Far From Home, as I previously said, made over $1 billion in the box office. A lot of people love this version of Spider-Man. I kind of personally wonder where they could take it now. I want to see some more villains, and I also want to see him deal with some tragedy, as I previously said, only because we haven't gotten that with this new Tom Holland version. They kind of skipped everything with Ben Parker. So let's have him lose somebody that he loves, just so we can see what that does for the character and how he deals with that. I also want some great shots like we've had in the Sony movies. I want it to be a very visual film. They need to take advantage of everything Spider-Man can do, have him on top of skyscrapers, going through the city, doing things that only he can do. And I think they're definitely going to deliver, because I really enjoyed Homecoming and Far From Home much more than I thought I would enjoy it, because I was a big fan of Andrew Garfield. But now I'm hooked with Spider-Man. Now, as far as introducing a bunch of characters, in last year's Marvel Spider-Man game for the PS4, they did a good job of combining a bunch of characters into one story. And I think we'll see more of that once it goes back to Sony, because Sony is developing its Spider-Verse or Venomverse, with Venom 2 on the way and Morbius with Jared Leto on the way. So that being said, rumors suggest that Venom 3 will be the first time that we see Spider-Man and Venom go head to head, and I'm completely fine with that, as long as we continue to build great stories and Tom Holland is still on board to be Spider-Man. So that's pretty much all I could talk about now, because we don't really have much information on either movie. I know Jonah Hill is rumored to be playing the Riddler. I did a Reddit post a couple months ago saying that I would like Jack Black as the Penguin, and somebody suggested Jonah Hill, and I thought it was a great idea. But rumors are that he might play the Riddler and not play the Penguin. But as I said, we don't know much more beyond that. And that being said, over the next year and a half, we're definitely going to keep getting more information. We're going to get casting news, trailers, villains, all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, the consumer, the customer, the fan, we are the ones that win. It's Batman versus Spider-Man. Arguably, both companies' most popular character. And I think both movies are going to be incredible. I don't know which one's going to make more money. Spider-Man is set to definitely make over $1 billion once again, because it's Spider-Man and he just did it right now with Far From Home. But it's the Batman. He might just do it too. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Subscribe for more videos. And let's start debating. Who are you more excited to see? Batman or Spider-Man? Which film do you think is going to be better or make more in the box office? Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos.